Welcome to the Wealth and Love Blueprint, where love meets logic and money reveals the truth.
You've been talking for months, maybe even years now. You've got your routines, your inside jokes, a whole history together. But if you're being really, really honest with yourself, deep down, that nothing is actually moving forward. You're in the exact same spot you were last year, and probably the year before that too. And this right here is the quiet danger zone. This isn't about the big dramatic fights or the obvious red flags that everyone warns you about. Nope. This is about a slow, creeping stagnation. A relationship that has just enough good moments to keep you hooked, to keep you hoping, but not nearly enough substance to actually build a future on. This is where years of your life can literally just vanish without you even realizing it's happening. Okay, let's really get into this, because it is a masterpiece of self-deception that so many of us fall into. We confuse activity with achievement. We tell ourselves these convincing stories to justify why we're staying put, and we create this illusion that things are moving forward, when really we're just running on a treadmill. Now, this slide is so important because it basically translates our emotional excuses into cold, hard psychological facts. On the left, you see the story you tell yourself. You say, we have so much history, right? But what your brain is actually doing is falling for something called the sunk cost fallacy. You think, well, we talk every single day. But a lot of the time, that's just emotional familiarity. It's comfort, not a deep connection. And that really powerful one, we've been through so much together, that can easily be something called trauma bonding, a connection built on shared pain, not shared growth. I mean, just think about it. You've poured months, maybe years, of your emotional energy, your time, your effort into this person. The idea of walking away feels like admitting all of that was a complete waste. So what do? You double down. You invest even more, hoping you can somehow turn things around. But the truth is, that time is already spent. The real question is, are you going to spend your future trying to justify your past? Let's keep going, because this goes so much deeper than just simple logic. There are these incredibly powerful psychological forces at work here, and they're basically designed to keep you exactly where you are, stuck in a cycle that feels almost impossible to break. Okay, this is the hot and cold behavior that is so addictive. Think about it. If someone was just nice to you all the time, you'd feel safe and secure. If they were awful all the time, you'd eventually leave. But that unpredictable mix, a fantastic week followed by 2 weeks of distance and confusion, that keeps your brain hooked. You're constantly chasing the high of those good days. It's a psychological loop that's actually way more powerful than consistent kindness. It's what keeps gamblers at the slot machine. This is when you're living for the potential of a person, not the reality of who they are right now. You aren't in a relationship with them. You're in a relationship with who you hope they'll become someday. That little phrase, maybe it'll change, or if only they would just, that becomes your coping mechanism. It's like a drug that numbs the pain of the present moment and lets you put off the hard decision you know you have to make. And this right here perfectly illustrates the core human dilemma. Why on earth do we choose a situation we know makes us unhappy? Because the pain is familiar. You know what the disappointment feels like. You can predict the stress. It's a weirdly comfortable sadness. The alternative, starting over, being alone, facing a totally unknown future, that feels absolutely terrifying. So you choose the devil you know over the devil you don't. All right, let's pivot for a second. Let's shift gears from the emotional why to the logical what. What is this situation really costing you? It's not just heartache. We're talking about your single most valuable, non-renewable resource you will ever have, your time. 2 years. Just let that number hang there for a second. It doesn't feel like a lot when you're living it day by day, does it? A month just slips by, then a season, then a whole year. And before you know it, another one. Suddenly, you look up and a huge chunk of your life has just evaporated in a state of waiting. And in that exact same amount of time, you could have built something incredible. You could have met someone who actually shares your goals and built a real thriving partnership. You could have poured all of that wasted emotional energy into your career or your health or your personal growth. You see, the cost isn't just the time you lost, it's the entire life you didn't get to live during that time. This is so critical. You have to reframe the problem. The issue isn't just about the person, it's about the trajectory. You have a life you're trying to build, goals you want to achieve, a person you want to become.
A stagnant relationship doesn't just put your love life on hold, it puts your entire life on a timeline to absolutely nowhere.
So, how do you know for sure? How do you cut through all the stories you tell yourself and all the hope you're clinging to? Let's get diagnostic. Here's a clear 5-point check to assess your own situation, and I need you to be brutally honest with yourself as we go through these. Okay, let's start. Number 1, is there any clear progression? Are you actually moving toward a shared goal, or are you just existing together in the same place month after month? Just think about that. Okay, number 2, do your conversations about the future feel like reruns? You know, the same words, same promises, but with zero action to back it all up? On to number 3, how do you feel most of the time? A healthy relationship brings clarity and security, not a constant draining state of anxiety and confusion. Let that one sink in. All right, number 4, take a hard look at the investment. Is it balanced, or are you consistently the one carrying the emotional weight, doing all the planning, making all the effort? And finally, number 5, are you always waiting? Waiting for them to be ready, waiting for things to get better, waiting for some magical right time that never seems to show up. So here's the bottom line. If you nodded along to 3 or maybe even more of those points, let this be your moment of clarity. You are not in a partnership that is building towards a future. You are in a situation that is simply passing time. Okay, getting clear is the first step, but it is not enough. Now we shift into empowerment. It's time to stop being a passive passenger in your own life and start taking the wheel of your own timeline. This part is all about action. It all starts with this one simple, direct, and kind of terrifying question. And you're not just asking them. You have to ask yourself. You have to stop accepting vague, fuzzy answers and start demanding clarity. First and foremost, for yourself. Here's your plan. Step 1 is the clarity test. You ask the direct question, where is this going? And you do not accept, I don't know, or let's just see how things go as an answer. You deserve better than that. Step 2, set a timeline. You decide on your own personal boundary. How much more of your life, 3 months, 6 months, are you willing to gamble on this uncertainty? Write it down. Step 3, stop overinvesting. Pull back your energy to match theirs. Just see what happens when you're no longer holding the entire thing together by yourself. The silence might tell you everything you need to know. And number 4, this is the most important one. Be willing to walk away. You have to understand that leaving a dead-end situation isn't failure. It is the ultimate act of success and self-preservation. Let this be your new standard. The goal isn't just to find someone you have a connection with. It's to find someone whose timeline, whose values, whose direction in life aligns with yours. A true partner adds momentum to your life. They don't act like an anchor, holding you back. And let's end on this. The explosive, toxic relationships are awful, but they usually end. The real danger? It lies in the quiet, comfortable stagnation that convinces you to trade away your future for a familiar, unfulfilling present. It doesn't break you in a day. It slowly erodes your life over years. So what's your path forward from here? First, reflect on the reality of your situation, not the potential you keep hoping for. Second, make the courageous choice to pursue growth, even if it means leaving comfort behind. And most of all, protect your time like your entire future depends on it, because it absolutely 100% does.
By aligning your heart and your finances, you unlock true growth. Subscribe to Wealth and Love Blueprint.